Happy Thursday, everyone. It's nice to see you. And welcome to week 3 of the September Challenger. This is our high-level, high-intensity exercise class, and it is done in a circuit style if you haven't been here before. And so what we'll do today is we will be doing a warm-up together, and then following that, we'll do the circuit portion of the class, which will be 5 exercises that we do for 90 seconds each. And we run through that twice, and then you're done. Okay, so because I have to manually let people in from the waiting room from our Zoom meeting, during the class, you might see me come up to the screen every now and then to let folks in. So if that happens, just ignore me and keep exercising. Okay, let me just make sure my brightness is turned up here so that you can all see me. Whoops. Okay. And hopefully you can hear me okay. I think I see people connected to the audio here. Wonderful. Okay, well, let me stand up and we'll get started. Hopefully you can see me. So we don't do a whole lot of traveling in this class, but we do have to move around the space a little bit. So hopefully you don't have any furniture nearby that you'll hit your arms and legs on. Just be a little bit careful because we will be moving and turning and things like that. You want to make sure you push any chairs or things like that out of the way. Okay. Let's start from marching on the spot just to get ourselves nice and warm. And whenever we are doing marching, we always want to make sure we are stomping the floor. We're really lifting the leg and stomping the floor, and we're swinging the arms. So if I turn sideways, you can see my arms are going back behind me just as much as they're going forward. So I'm not just doing this, but I'm swinging the arms back as far as I can at the same time. Nicely done. Over here is we are going to keep marching, but we're going to float the arms up to a T. We're still marching, and this time what we're going to do is we're going to bring our opposite hand to our knee, like so. So notice that I said hand to knee and knee up to the hand. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to be down here. We want to be up here, chest open, nice and tall, almost like you're balancing a book on top of your head, and you want the knee to hike up towards that hand as well. Nice and tall. Good, nicely done, everyone. Let's try to take it one step further and see if we can get the knee to go to the opposite forearm now. So we have to twist a little more in order to get the knee to reach up to the forearm. Nicely done. Keep the knees going up. So remember, we don't want to be down here. We want to be up here, like you're balancing a book on top of your head. Let's take it one step further. We're going to try to go knee to elbow. So you got to twist even more. You might not necessarily be able to get the elbow to the knee, and that's okay. You're going to try your best to twist your elbow as close to the knee as possible. Still thinking about being nice and tall, like you've got a book balancing on top of your head. Nicely done. Last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest the leg. Okay, I'm going to turn sideways. We are going to do some lunges. So we're going to go like this. Lunge forward, lunge back. Or you can do a step. If you don't want to lunge, you can do a step. But we're going forward with that one leg, and then back with the same leg. And the arms, you can just let them swing however they like. But notice how my one leg, so in this case, my left foot stays on the floor the entire time. Can you see that? It's my right leg that's moving. So my left foot is kind of just anchored on the floor. We don't have to hold any specific position. We're just getting our bodies warmed up. And remember, if there's anything we're doing in the class that's a little too fast for you, don't worry, feel free to slow it down. That's fine. But just make sure if you are slowing it down, we're still maintaining the same quality of movement the entire time. So you'll see here that my left leg is now moving. My right is staying anchored to the floor. You can just let your arms do whatever they like here. Nice and loose. We're not holding any position, we're just getting warmed up. Okay, let's try to do some sideways lunging. So we're going to try with the legs together, and we're going to take one of our legs and we're going to step out and lunge. And then from here, that same leg is going to push to come back to the middle, and then the other leg is going to do the same thing. Now, we really want to make sure that we're going out as far as we can. So it's almost like you're trying to fill up the entire room around you. You're traveling the entire room, even though we're not actually moving too much here. But what we don't want to do, we don't want to be like this. This is too small. You want to move, travel, even though we're not actually traveling across the room, but we want to think about extending all the way across the room. Get those legs warmed up. Push with that leg to come back to the middle. Push with that leg to come back to the middle. Yes, good. Push with that leg to come back to the middle. Really use the strength from the thigh muscle and the bottom muscle to push you back to the middle. Good, nice to done. Okay, let's give the legs a rest for a second. And we're going to do some arms. So I'm going to take one arm and I'm going to circle the arm back like so. I'm going to stand this way so you can see me a little better. I'm circling the arm back, just one. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to take my opposite arm and I'm going to circle it forward. So in opposite directions. So one arm is going forward, one arm is going back. If I move my thigh, you can see that one arm is forward, one arm is back. A little bit of thinking for you this morning. So when you're doing the opposite direction arm swings, it should be that your arms meet at the bottom at the same time and they meet at the top at the same time, even though they're going in opposite directions. This one always makes everyone look like they're swimming. Okay, let's try the other side. Other arm is going to go back by facing in. My other arm is going to start this. Bring it back. And then when you're ready, you can add your other arm, circling forward. I'll turn sideways again so you can see. So you can see that one arm is going back, one arm is going forward. So they should touch the bottom at the same time and reach the top at the same time as well. Nicely done, everyone. Keep going. Let's do a few more. Hopefully your arms are getting warm. Good. Okay, let's do some leg swings. I'm going to hold on to a wall here. So at home, hold on to a wall, a chair, a table, whatever you got. This is not a balance exercise. We are doing this exercise to warm up the hip and leg. So holding on, and I'm going to swing one leg forward and backwards as loose as you can. So I don't want anyone to hold their leg rigid. We want the leg to be loose, same with the arm. You want to think like cooked spaghetti quality, that floppy, noodly kind of quality to the movement. You want it to be nice and loose, loosey-goosey, nice and floppy. We're trying to get that hip to open up, trying to warm up that hip. Let the leg be nice and floppy. Don't hold it in any way. Let momentum kind of take over. And just the leg, let the leg go. as floppy as you can. Think uncooked, or sorry, cooked spaghetti. Oh, uncooked spaghetti would be the opposite. We want cooked spaghetti, overcooked spaghetti quality. Nicely done. Okay, let's try the same thing on the other side. So just like before, make sure you're holding on to something because this is not a balance exercise. You just want to loosen up that hip, really open up that hip, loosen up the leg, let your arms do whatever it wants to do, but essentially we're letting momentum kind of take over here. And just like before, you're thinking about that overcooked spaghetti kind of quality, nice and sloppy and loose. Nicely done, everyone. Floppy, floppy. And open that hip as floppy as you can. Good. Okay, let's rest. Last one, let's just open up our chest a little bit. So we're gonna bring the arms forward. And what you're gonna do here is you're gonna think about like a bow and arrow, and you're gonna lead with your elbow. I'll just turn sideways slightly so you can see. My arms are forward, you're gonna lead with your elbow and you're pulling back like so. Pulling back. Almost like you're drawing back like a bow, except you're letting your gaze follow that elbow that's going back. And then once you're ready, you can take this a little further and open up the arm completely. So you're still getting the elbow to kind of pull back and lead that movement. And then you open up the rest of the arm. So you're kind of looking at the back wall, or as close to the back wall as you can if you're not able to quite turn that much. We're really trying to open that chest nice and wide. You'll notice you're doing some rotation through the spine as well. Last one. And rest. Okay. Hopefully you're warm. If not, you will definitely be warm on the next one. So we are going to do a circuit now. We have just 5 exercises that we're doing for 90 seconds each. And then we're going to run through that twice, and that's it. So super quick. Well, it probably won't feel very quick, but you get the idea. So we are going to start with our stop and squat. Haven't seen this exercise yet in the series. So it's called the stop and squat, and we're taking it from the PD Warrior syllabus. And it looks like this. Let me show you the arms first. I'm bringing my hands in by my armpits, and I'm squeezing my fist like so. From here, I'm going to imagine there's something really heavy in front of me, and I'm going to push my arms away, and noticing that I'm flaying my fingers. I'm extending, push, push, push. You want to try to push that object as far away as possible. And you're going to grab and pull it towards you again. So there's an element of that shock. Great. So we don't want to be like this. We want to be really distinct with the flaying of the fingers, spreading them out as wide as you can, and then pulling in. And then at the same time, we're going to do our squats because it's called stop and squat. So we're going to do this. And you can see there's that sharp quality push and pull. And that's it. Okay, 90 seconds for the first one. Let's turn on the timer. Okay, we go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. We go. Nice and short. Spread the fingers as wide as you can. And pull. And keep going in your own pace. It doesn't have to be the same pace I'm doing, but I really want you to think sharp as you can. How exaggerated can you make that movement? Really difficult, sharp as you can make that movement. The fingers down as wide as you can, pulling in nice and sharp. Make sure you're laying your fingers, exaggerating that reach, like your palm is going to shoot through the screen in front of you. And you're grabbing and pulling really hard. Think about that object being really heavy. You've got to exert lots of effort. 30 seconds. Nicely done. I want to see those fingers nice, wide. You really push Now come forward. Pull in as sharp as you can. You've got 15 seconds. All right, keep going. You can do this. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath as sharp as you can. Nicely done. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Shake out those arms, shake out those legs. Well done. Okay. Our next one is going to be our wood choppers. So, the wider you start with your legs, the harder it's going to be. It'll be slightly easier if your legs are closer in together. But I'll show you anyway, and then you can kind of play around with it and decide where you might want your legs. So the movement is called a wood chopper. So we're going to clasp our hands together as if we're holding an axe. Not that you would ever hold it this way, but we're going to pretend. So we're going to clasp our hands together. And you're going to start at one top corner. So it doesn't matter which one. It can be this way, it can be this way. But either way, you're starting with your hands in one corner like so. And then because I'm in this corner, I'm going to use the opposite leg, which is this one. And I'm going to chop down to the outside of that knee. And I'm going to bring it back. And you'll notice there's an element of balance. And because the movement is called a wood chopper, I don't want to do this. I don't want it to be slow and smooth. I want it to be crispy and sharp. So you want to think about that. You need to drive down with enough power to chop the imaginary wood. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 to one side. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to keep doing 3 on each side. And as you can imagine, the wider your legs, the harder, because the more you have to shift your weight to each side to balance. So if I'm like this, in order for me to chop, I can't stand in the middle, right? Because if I keep my weight in the middle, I can't lift that leg. I have to bring myself over. So the wider your stance, the more you have to travel to balance. Whereas if your weight is, or your feet are relatively close together, then it's a little bit easier because this is as far as you have to go. Whereas here, you have to really move. So it's up to you which version you want to do, but I do want you to challenge yourself with that balance. So 3 on each side, okay? So 3 on one side, switch, and we keep going. Here we go. 3 on one side. Nice and sharp and powerful. Think about the name. It's a wood chopper. You really want to drive that effort in order for that imaginary piece of wood to actually split. Make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. Nice sharp effort to the outside of the knee. You got 1 minute. No, you're done. Try to widen your stance if you like to try. A little bit of challenge with trying to hold that balance, but it's up to you. Doesn't matter what version you're doing, but the main point here is I want to see that sharp, powerful effort. 30 seconds. Nicely done, everyone. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. No one should be holding their breath. Think about that diagonal wood chopper. So you're going from one corner down to the opposite corner. Nicely done. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo, nicely done, everyone. My goodness. Okay. So that was exercise 2. So that means we have 3 exercises left, and then we'll have a little bit of a break, and then we'll do all 5 exercises again, and then we're done. So you can see the finish line. The next exercise we're going to do is a bit of a boxing combination. Although not quite, but you'll see in a second. We're going to adding a little bit of aerobic activity. So some little jumps, but I'll give you alternatives if you don't want to do a little jump. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand in our fighter stance. So one leg is forward and one leg is back. Generally, it's your left leg forward and your right leg back, and they're kind of on a diagonal, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to do both sides. So we're going to bring our arms up, and we are going to do 4 punches forward, and it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do 3 jump switches like this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, I forgot to add in the kicks. Sorry. Start again. 4 punches forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front kick. Back kick. And then 3 jump switches like this. 1, 2, 3. So now you're on the other side. Same thing. 4 punches forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Front kick. Back kick. 3 jump switches. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you don't want to jump, that's okay. You can always do this. You can just do a step if you don't want to jump. It's entirely up to you. But when you're doing the kicks, you want to lean in the opposite direction of the kicks to keep you balanced. So from the side, if I do that again, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then when I'm kicking, I'm not like this, but I'm leaning away from the kick. Can you see that? I'm leaning away from the kick to really keep that balance. So you want to lean away. So don't be afraid to kind of shift your weight. So 4 punches forward, front kick, back kick, 3 jumps to switch your feet. 1, 2, 3, or step if you don't want to jump. And you don't have to do it at that speed. It could be a speed that works for you. I really want to see the leaning when you're doing the kicks. And then when you're punching, we're also not just doing this with the arms. You want the entire body to throw the punches rather than like this with just the arms. The entire body is throwing the punches. That's how you get the power behind the punch. Okay, here we go. 20 seconds. We go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Front kick, back kick, and 3 jump switches. 1, 2, 3. Now you're on the other side again. 4 punches forward, using your body. Front kick, back kick. 1, 2, 3. Or you can jump faster. It's up to you. So keep going in a pace that works for you. You can speed it up if you like. I'm going to still do it at a relatively moderate pace in case anybody is lost. But you can feel free to speed it up. Just make sure if you are speeding it up, you are still throwing the punches with your trunk. Nobody should be doing this with the arms. It should be from your trunk. And when you're doing the kicks, you're leaning away. Oops. And hopefully you didn't kick your back wall. Nicely done. You got 30 seconds left. So remember, feel free to speed it up. But I'm going to keep going at this pace in case anybody is lost. Nicely done. Throw those punches with your trunk. The kicks, remember, you're leaning away from your kick to keep balance. Lean away from your kick. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. Shake up the arms, shake up the legs if you need. Well done. Okay. You have 2 exercises left, and then we'll have a get ready. And we're going to do all 5 again, and then you're done. Okay, next exercise, we are going to do a little bit of a pivot we did last week, if anyone remembers. So we're going to start with the legs wide, wider than your hips and shoulders. So it should kind of look like you've got a triangle where your legs are. And I'm going to start with my arms open and palms facing the ceiling like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pivot to the side and clap my hands together. Now, if I stop in this movement for a second, you can see I'm wiggling my toes for you to see. You can see my feet are pointing the same direction as my hips, right? Same here. See how my toes are now pointing forward, the same direction as my hips. And I'm going to go the other way. You see how I'm pivoting? Both toes are pointing the direction of my hips. So what I don't want to happen is this. So see how my feet are really moving, or one foot is moving. I don't want this. I want the entire body to pivot to the side, open. The entire body to pivot to the side and open. So there's that element of balance when we're pivoting. So almost looks like if you imagine the balls of your feet being nailed down into the floor and you can't lift them. So you're kind of pivoting on them. You see that? So see how my toes are pointing the direction my hips are going? So I'm not, doing this. I'm not lifting the legs. I'm keeping them on the floor and I'm just swiveling on them. I'm pivoting on them. Okay? So the arms are open, popping to one side, open, pop to the other side, open. Okay. 90 seconds. And we go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Think about that big flap as well. So you have big swings of the arms up overhead. And if it's really challenging and you're not able to get your feet to kind of pivot and swivel, feel free to do it slower, because the faster and sharper you do this, the more challenging it's going to feel in terms of maintaining your balance. And also, I don't want anyone to injure their knees while they're trying to pivot. So if you need to do it slower, that's okay. But I really want you to think about keeping your weight on the ball of your feet and you're kind of keeping one. So it's almost like your heels are off the floor a little bit as you swivel. 40 seconds. Nicely done. You want to keep your weight in the center of your legs. Arms up, don't let the arms fall down. 30 seconds. Keep the arms up. I know they're probably burning. You can do this. You've got 25 seconds. Less than that, 20 seconds. Keep breathing. Keep your feet swiveling. Opening that chest. Imagine you can't bend your elbows. Your arms have to stay straight and go up and over. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nicely done. Oh my goodness. Well done. Well done, everyone. Okay. One exercise left, and then we have a little break. And then we do all 5 again from the beginning, and that's it. And we're done. Okay, our next exercise, we are going to use a wall, ideally a blank wall, because I just don't want anything to be hitting your arms or anything to fall on you, because we're going to do a wall push-up variation, and it's going to look like this. So we're going to first align our body to the wall. So we're going to stand nice and tall. You're going to place your hand on the wall, and you want your elbows to be straight. So if your elbows are bent, it means you're too close to the wall. You got to step away enough until your arms are straight, but your entire hand and palm are still on the wall. And then from here, you're going to step your legs back even further, such that you're kind of on an incline. So your body is in one straight line. We're not like this. Our body is in one straight line, but we're placing our weight onto our hands, such that if the wall fell away, we would fall. So you want your feet to be set back enough that you got weight on your hands. And then from here, we are going to do a single leg push-up. So we're going to lift one leg off the floor, or you can place the toes down if it's too hard to lift the leg. And we're going to go push up. And then that same leg is going to come up to the elbow to do a spider hand push-up. And then we're going to switch sides. Lifting that leg. We go push up. And then knee up to elbow, push up. So when we're doing our push-ups, if you look at me for a second, what we don't want is this. We don't want to be like this. We want the body to be in one line. And it's almost like your body is a statue. And the only thing moving is your elbows. So you can see your entire body structure kind of goes towards the wall. But we also don't want this. We're kind of sagging towards the wall. We want the body to be nice and still. You want to hold your tongue nice and tight. So single leg push up. By the mat jump. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, we tried. If you need a break, it's okay. You can take a break and get right back into it if you can. All right, got my time. We go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Single leg push-up. Knee up to elbow, Spider-Man push-up. And when you're doing the Spider-Man push-up, you really want the inside of your thigh, so your inner thigh, to be facing the wall. So it's kind of like you're turning out your hip. You want the knee to go outwards and not towards the wall, because otherwise it'll block you from down. You want your knee to kind of go outwards. Remember, you want your entire trunk to be in one line, so don't let your hip go back and don't let your bottom sag forward either. 15 seconds. Your arms are feeling sore, have a break, shake them out. Get right back into it if you can. 40 seconds. Nicely done, everyone. Keep breathing. 30 seconds. Remember to keep your body in one plank. Don't let your hips sag. 20 seconds left. Nicely done, everyone. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Shake out those arms. Circle your shoulders if you need. Get a drink of water. We are going to take a 2-minute break. You can pace around the room if you like, so let your heart rate come down. You can perch on something if you need to rest your legs, but try not to lie down or sit back on a sofa, because you'll find it's very difficult to get back up after when you're already tired. So keep your body in that kind of ready feeling, so that we can do round 2, and then you're done. Well done, everyone. You're halfway through our level 3 class. Definitely not for the faint of heart. Well done, everyone. You're drinking water, little sips at a time. If you gulp too much in one go, you might find that you have a cramp when you start again. Well done, everyone. You got a minute left. Feel free to shake out the arms or stretch or whatever you feel you need. Our level 3 classes are always so small. I completely understand it. So they're difficult classes. So well done for being here. 30 seconds left. Okay, let's come on back. So we are restarting our 5 exercises, 90 seconds each, and then we're done. So the first exercise we did was our squatting variation taken from the PD Warrior syllabus. So our legs are a little wider than hip width apart if you can. Hands are tucked into your armpits and your fists are shut. So we're imagining there's something really heavy in front of us that we're pushing and pulling, and it looks like this. Push. And you're spreading out the fingers, so we're not like this. We're like this. You're really reaching, spreading your palms, and then we grab and pull. And we're not just standing up like this. We want it to be shut on the way in and on the way out. Okay, I think you remember that one. Let me grab my timer here. Okay, we start in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. We go push. Spread the fingers, spread and pull. Nice and sharp. Spread the fingers you're imagining as you're doing the push that your palms are gonna reach through that computer screen or tablet screen. You're really trying to extend and fill up as much space as you can. Imagine you're stuck in a big room full of jello and you're pushing the jello away from you towards the walls. 1 minute left. Nice and sharp with your movement if you can. You're really thinking about it. And squeeze. Spread the fingers. Squeeze. Nicely done. 45 seconds left. Keep going. You're almost there. The last time you're going to see this exercise, you can do it. 35 seconds. Nicely done. Keep going. Last 30, really exaggerate your fingertips. Energy coming all the way to the ends of your toes, ends of your fingertips. You're pushing the floor away from you as you stand up. 15 seconds. You're almost there. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Nicely done. Oh my goodness. Okay. Our next exercise, we are doing our wood chops. So you probably remember this one. Legs are going to be wide again. Or if balance is a bit of an issue for you in this one, you can bring your legs closer together or clasping our hands, bring it up on a diagonal. And we're going to take the opposite diagonal, like this, diagonal. And we're going to chop to the outside of that knee 3 times. And then we're doing the same thing on the other side. So you're really thinking about chopping this imaginary wood. So if we're like this, we're probably not going to split that wood. So we really want to think power behind those chops. You're doing 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, and we're going to alternate. Okay, oops. Are we ready? We go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. We're doing 3 on one side. Nice power in those chops. So remember, if you're not adding power to the chops, that imaginary piece of wood is probably not going to split. You really want to imagine you're hitting that piece of wood, you're striking that piece of wood. We're done 1 minute. Up to 50 seconds. You can do this. And then you never have to see this exercise again. Although I say that, sometimes the exercises are repeated in our April Challenger and September Challenger classes. So if you take another Challenger class in the future, you might see variations of this. You can do this last 35 seconds. Do 3 to each side. Really hold up balance. Don't let yourself fall back. Breathe in. Nobody should be holding their breath. By now, you're probably tired, but really think about that power in your movement. 15 seconds. You can do this. Power, power. Split that wood. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Yay. Well done, everyone. Oh my goodness. Okay. Woo. You have 3 exercises left and you are done after that. You can do this. Less than 5 minutes of hard work. Okay, our next exercise is our boxing combination. So this is the one where we have those jump switches. So you can start with one leg forward and one leg back, but they're kind of on diagonals. They're not directly in front and back. You kind of have them on a bit of diagonal. We're doing 4 punches like this. Using your body to throw those punches. Then you do a forward kick. Make sure you lean back. Backwards kick. Make sure you lean forward. And then we do 3 jump switches like this. 1, 2, 3. Or if you don't want to jump, you can just switch your legs like that. Okay. And then once you've done 3, you're now going to be on the other side. And we do the same thing. Those 4 punches. kick forward, kick back, and then those 3 jump switches or step, whatever you prefer. Or if you want to try to jump but you don't think you can maintain it for 90 seconds, don't worry, you can start with the jump and then switch in a couple of the step ones when you need to have a sort of bit of an active break, and then get back into it as well. Okay, remember you're leaning away from your kicking leg. Here we go. We go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. We're getting those 4 punches forward. You're using your trunk. Forward kick, backwards kick. 1, 2, 3. And feel free to do this at a speed that works for you. I'm going to keep this moderate pace because I do want, in case anyone is lost and you need to kind of follow the choreography of movement, you can see what it is if I'm not doing it too quick. Although with that said, I understand that this is still a quick movement. Keep going. So remember with those punches, I don't want to see just the arms. I want to see the body following the punches. Lean away from the kicks. Lean away from the kicks. Use that body to punch. Use your trunk. Lean away from the kick. Boxing should be a full body workout, not just your arms. Should be very core centric. 30 seconds. Nicely done. Get your entire body involved in the punches. Power behind the punches and kicks by involving your trunk. 20 seconds. Keep going. Remember, you're more than welcome to speed it up or slow it down. But I want that same effort. And hopefully you didn't just kick your back wall like I did there. I always have to be a little bit careful when doing anything backwards in this space. Last 2, 1, and rest. Well done, everyone. Okay. 2 exercises left, and then you are done. You're almost there. Our next one is our pivot one. So the legs are wider than your hips apart. So you're thinking about that triangle. Performing with the legs, arms are going to be out, palms facing the ceiling. And this is the one where we pivot from side to side when you clap those hands together. And now you'll notice that my arms are straight. So I'm not clapping like this. I'm exaggerating. No one's doing it like that, but we don't want the arms to kind of be like this. We want the arms to outstretch and as long as you can. So there's big lever. So when you're doing the claps, you're going up and over. And so it's almost like you're kind of drawing like that rainbow shape with the arms. And remember your legs, they're pivoting the same direction as where you're going. So we don't want the body to just be like this and have this stationary. You want both feet to move with you, swiveling on the balls of your feet. Okay. 90 seconds. We go in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Big lever. Think about that rainbow shape you're drawing with the arms. You're pivoting to the side. Where both toes are going the same direction as your hips. And remember, you're more than welcome to do this slower if you like. It doesn't have to be the same speed as what I'm doing, but as long as you're maintaining that same quality movement, i.e., your arms are wide and we're not starting to do this just because we're going slower, and we want the toes to point that same direction as your hips. So just because you're slowing it down or speeding it up doesn't mean the underlying quality is changing. Try to keep those arms up if you can. You've got 40 seconds left. And then you'll never see the one again. Unless you take another talent class, then you might see variations of this. Nicely done. 30 seconds. Nicely done. You can do this. Keep breathing. You've only got 1 exercise left after this, and you are all done. You're almost at the finish line. Last 15. Get both legs pivoting. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Woo, shake out those arms. Well done, everyone. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs if you need. Oh my goodness. Okay. You have 1 exercise left. So last 90 seconds of work, and then you are all done. You're almost there. Okay, our last one was our push-up variation at the wall. So remember, ideally, you want a wall that doesn't have things sticking out of it, like shelves and pictures. Because you can imagine as you're doing a push-up, if your head moving, a shelf is probably not very nice. So you're going to stand facing the wall, and then place your hands onto the wall such that your arms are straight, so you know you're at the right distance. From there, you'll just walk your feet back a tiny bit more, so that you're on an incline and your weight is in your hands. So if the wall fell away, your body would kind of end up going forward. From here, you're keeping your body in one straight line. Think about spreading out your fingers on the wall. It might help you. And then we're going to lift one leg off the floor. So you're doing a single leg push-up, like so. And then that same leg that's off the floor, the knee is going to point outwards towards the elbow. So then you're doing your fireman push-up, and then we're going to switch sides. Really important when you're doing your push-up, we don't want the bottom to go back. We don't want to be like this, because then you're not actually holding that body position. And also, we don't want the body to stay. Now let's do this, because you injure your back. So you really want to think about that straight line. So if I got a marble and I let go of it at the base of your neck, it should roll down the body to the floor in one line, and she jump off your hip. Because if your hip's like this, the marble will kind of bounce off. So you want to think that one straight line. Okay. I think we remember this one. Go in 3, 2, 1, off we go. Single leg push-up. Fireman push-up. Now remember with this one, it's not about speed. We're not going as fast as we can. We really want to take control here of the movement. So if you're going so fast that you're barely getting the leg up, you're sticking your bottom back, or you're sagging your trunk, I would much rather you go slower, way slower, so that you're really working on the strength here. Keep your trunk nice and still. Or sorry, not nice and still because you're technically moving, but I mean as in keep your trunk stable. So don't let yourself sag, and don't let your hips stick back. 40 seconds. You can do this. You've got 35 seconds left, and then you're done. Literally 30 seconds. You can do this. You're almost at the finish line. Keep breathing. You can do this. 25 seconds. It's always the last exercise where it feels like time has slowed. You got 15 seconds. Nicely done, everyone. You're almost there. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Well done. Let's roll out our shoulders. Rub them back. Roll out the shoulders. Let the arms kind of swing. Nicely done, everyone. My goodness. And then we're going to take our hand, we're going to grab the opposite elbow and pull it towards our shoulder. And then that same shoulder, you're going to think about bringing it down to the floor. So don't let your shoulder come up to your ear. Lower it down to the floor and pull that elbow as close to you as you can to feel that stretch on the outside of the arm. And let's swing it out. And do the same on the other side. Grab that elbow, pull it towards the opposite shoulder. And that same shoulder we're stretching, make sure it's not up by the ears. You want to rock that shoulder towards the floor. And the more you hug that arm into the chest, the more you feel that stretch. And drop. We're going to come to a wall. We're going to do a chest stretch on the wall. So we're going to put our bodies against the wall and one arm out to the side like this, all against the wall as well. From here, keeping that arm against the wall, you're going to rotate your body away from that arm. So you're trying to keep the entire arm on the wall if you can, but you're just kind of rotating your chest away from the arm, and you should feel a stretch in the chest. Just be careful, don't go too far, because I don't want you to injure yourself. But you're turning your chest away from that arm on the wall to feel that stretch, not pull. Breathing. And drop the arm. Same to the other side. So your other arm, the entire arm is gonna touch the wall if you can. And then you're just gonna rotate your chest away from that arm. And you should feel a stretch in the chest on that side as well. And try not to let the shoulder come up to your ear. Drop that shoulder to the floor. Remember, be gentle here. Don't go too far. I don't want you to injure yourself. And then relax the arm. Let's clasp our hands together and we're going to reach up overhead. Stretching the arms as far up as you can. And then from here, keep stretching as far as you can, but we're going to go over on a diagonal. So you'll kind of feel more on one side underneath the armpit and the trunk. Reaching even more up on that diagonal. Back up to the middle, stretch, stretch, other side. Up and over. You should feel that stretch kind of here where the armpit is and down the side. And then drop the arms. Let's do a thigh stretch. So you can hold on to a wall, a chair, whatever you've got. And you're going to grab your foot. If you can, I'll show you another version if you can't. Grab your foot and you're going to pull it up towards your bottom. Make sure both knees are aligned. So don't let one knee come forward. Make sure both knees are in one line. You're going to push your bottom forward, keeping your knees in one line to really feel a stretch at the front of the thigh. If you can't do that, don't worry. You can grab a chair and put it behind you. And then you can just place your foot onto the chair. Same thing, but you're making sure your knees are in one line, so don't let your knees come forward. Knees in one line. You're going to push that hip forward, and you should feel a stretch at the front of the thigh. The higher the feet of the chair, so i.e. if you put like backwards or something, the more you feel that grip, and you can work your way towards being able to hold on to your foot if you like. Either version is fine as long as you feel that stretch. And let's try the same thing on the other side. So you can use a chair if you like, or not, up to you, but hold on to something for balance if you need. You're pulling the foot towards your bottom, knees in one line, pushing the hips forward in order to feel that stretch at the front of the thigh. Breathing as we do that. Done. Let's do one leg forward, one leg back. The front knee is bent, the back knee is straight. And the goal here is we're trying to reach that back heel towards the floor. So you want to really push that back knee straight and reach that heel towards the floor to feel a stretch in the back calf muscle. Breathing as you're holding. And then bring your feet in a little closer together. And we're going to shift our weight and sink our bottom back so that the front leg is straight, the back knee is bent, and you should feel a stretch to the back of the front thigh. Nicely done. Let's switch sides. Front knee bent, back leg straight. You're trying to keep that back knee straight and dig that back heel down, reach that back heel down into the floor, elongating that heel towards the floor. You'll feel that stretch in the back calf muscle. Breathing as you're holding. And then bring the leg in a little bit further. And then you're going to switch sides, or sorry, switch your weight back, such that the front knee is now straight and the back knee is bent, and you should feel a stretch at the back of that straight thigh. Breathing. Nicely done. And relax. Big sweep of the arms, deep breath in. Reach up overhead and breathe out. Drop the arms. And again, breathe in. And breathe out, drop the arms. One more. Breathe in and breathe out, drop the arms. And you are done. Well done, everyone. How we doing? Are we all sweaty and feeling dead? I hope so. So in the best way possible, I hope that you're feeling sore tomorrow because that means we've worked hard enough. So I know in previous classes I've mentioned that when we talk about exercises specifically to slow down our Parkinson's, we really want the exercise to be high intensity as much as possible. So something like the September Challenger where you get really sweaty and you're panting maybe throughout the class, excellent. That's great. That's exactly what we want. So very, very well done for getting through this class. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's not easy at all. So very, very well done. Give yourselves a pat on the back. You've done excellent. And I will see you next week for our final class. Thank you, everyone.